Jerry contacted us and invited us down to take a look at one of the events in Singapore last September. And at that event, that was also where we met Leo. So he showed us the format of the event. We were quite impressed. We liked in particular how one-on-one meetings were scheduled. I think at that point in time, there weren't that many events management companies that took on that concept. So we liked it. Subsequently, in a few months later, Rose contacted us again. So I think it was her persistence that paid off. At that point in time, we didn't have a burning need for events, but we were toying with the idea of doing something. Then we decided that we wanted to concentrate on Manila as a market, and that was when we decided to take a chance with Proventa or Rockbird Media with the event in April, the event in Manila, HR Leaders Strategic Meeting, if I'm not wrong. I like to think it's Knolskape's format. I think the way we brought in the participants to experience for themselves what simulations can do in a corporate training setting, I think that made the difference. Having said that, it wouldn't have been possible without the partnership from Rockbird Media. I think the selection of the venue was excellent. I think a lot of thought went into it by the team. Being touted as an event for HR professionals here in Manila, I think the selection of the venue, the Peninsula, was good because of its heritage. The selection of food, where it's all Filipino fare, I think that was also a masterstroke. I think these are all things, the little nuances, the little things that people tend to overlook, but the production team here at Rockbird Media, I think I appreciated the fact that they look into all these little things to create that whole feeling of getting people welcome, knowing that this is something that's a Filipino event. It's a company, Knolskape, that's trying to come into the Philippines market to make our name here and taking into account all of these sort of cultural stuff. So I think that was something that I appreciate very much. On the event day itself, there are many things that can go wrong. Having somebody like Rose and team on the floor managing these things, making sure that equipments are set up properly, guests are ushered in the most comfortable manner, right down to the fact that even on those scheduled one-on-one meetings, sometimes there's no show, or sometimes the wrong participant or the wrong person is being targeted. The team is always on hand, on site to make replacements, and these are things that I appreciate very much. And I believe that if these were all done internally, we may not be able to achieve the sort of effectiveness or efficiency. The alternative to using Rockbird Media is to do it on our own. We do have a marketing team as well to support us with these sort of events. However, as I mentioned, the marketing team, anything that we do internally, these efforts needs to be shared among different things, so they do not just specifically look at doing the events. So with that, we would still be able to pull off an event, but as I said, it may not be as efficient or it may not be as effective. So a good example could be the client acquisition list. One of the things was that Rockbird Media being headquartered here in the Philippines means that you are familiar with the people, and I think just on that itself, the turnout for the event itself, I think that was pretty impressive. right people, right companies. We had our wish list. We had most of those people that we wanted on the list, or rather most of those companies that we wanted on the list that actually turned up. So I'm just thinking that if we had done it on our own, we might not have achieved that sort of numbers nor reach. The other alternative then is to engage another company, other events management company. Me and my colleagues discussed, and what we thought was that if Rockbird Media has its base here in the Philippines, then that should give you guys a better edge in knowing what's the local needs. So I think we made the right decision. Philippines is a market that we want to concentrate and expand into. So with that, we wanted to look for a partner that's familiar with the local market, and Rockbird Media being a company that's based out of Philippines. I know it has its roots also in the UK and it's done events in America and all of that, but knowing that it's got a strong base here in the Philippines, I think that swayed our decision. We were fairly confident that Rockbird Media would have the right contacts, right understanding, and the reach into the companies and organizations that we want to target. With Rockbird Media's help, it's always a collaboration, it's always a partnership, and bringing in the right partners only adds to enhancing that whole process, making it more efficient, more effective, as I kept emphasizing. So I imagine if we didn't have Rockbird Media, we probably would have gotten this level of success. But with Rockbird Media, we might have, or we would have gotten, I wouldn't say double, but 20-30% better results. In our selection of a partner, particularly an events partner, I think there are a lot of risks associated with it. First of all, we are not sure if the company can deliver what it promised. And typically for events management companies, what they promise us are good turnouts. What happens on the floor on that day? So I think these are the risks. Well, so when we evaluated what sort of partners we need, we wanted to see that Rockbird Media could actually check off all of these boxes. So what really helped, I guess, was the fact that Jerry invited us down to see how an event was being run. Leo was not pushy. Leo showed us around and gave us a glimpse or a preview into what we might expect as to receive as a partner. So I think that assured us a fair bit. Knolskape has always been in the business of training, and as you would know, the training landscape has changed dramatically because of the advances in technology, digitalization, and all of that. With that brings the unknown. So if you were to ask a university professor today, what skills or what are you going to teach your students such that they remain relevant in the next 10 years? I think many of them will be hard-pressed for answers. So in that respect, we think that Knolskape has a part to play in the use of simulations, because simulations present many different scenarios. It helps you think, helps you test out your hypothesis, apply the skills. So back to your question, where do we see where do we see us participating in future events? I would say anything to do with future skills. Right now, leadership skills and all of that, but in the future skills, digitization, things of that nature. I think these are all events that I think we are well positioned to participate in and to hopefully make an impact.